Now I'd like all of those who have not already paid for tickets to attend events to stand up, please.
No, you can sit down.
Okay, you're all fined. I'm now going to show you a small cross-section of the wonderful entertainment which is going to be on over the next couple of weeks. And during that, anyone who's associated with the country with that entertainment comes from is going to get fined. And also I've done a little bit of research, I have to admit rather imperfect research, and then I've used my judgment to then allocate people based on their interests associated with these types of events. So with apologies if I get it wrong, but you're still going to have to pay your fine. So the first one I've got up here is La Curva. This is from Spain, and it's experience the future of flamenco yourself. So lovers of classical dance, and I've picked you to be John Todd, John Luxton, Bev Wakeham, Anthony Scott, Bill Shaw, Marion Cowden, Ken Fink Jensen, Alistair Finney, John Hall and Barry Hellberg. Pay up, please. The next one's Decadence. This show is from Israel. So seize the opportunity to see this of greatest hits shows from one of the world's leading dance companies. So anyone who's either born in or been to Israel can pay up. And lovers of contemporary dance, and here's my pick. Donna Dentis, Sue Patterson, Peter Holstead, Sarah Owen, Sam Stevens, Carol Stigley, Liz Tennant, Colleen Singleton, Anna Cersei Taylor, Heather Hayden, Andrew Jackson and Kate Mitchell. So no one's going to escape my net. Stones in Her Mouth. This is a New Zealand production. It's an ensemble of 10 Maori women who issue a powerful challenge through oratory, choral work and dance. So anyone who is born in New Zealand can pay. And then the lovers of Maori theatre, I picked Leslie Moffat, Roger Drummond, Brian Lynch, James Austin, Karen Dukas and Tracy Brown. And Iliad. This show is coming from the United States. And it's a powerful one-man show, uses Homer's 2,800-year-old epic poem to explore humanity's attraction to violence, destruction and chaos. So anyone who's been to the United States and experienced just those sorts of things can pay up. And lovers of contemporary theatre. So I got here Graham Mitchell, Wayne Nieberg, Kerry Pendergrass, Grant Fogo, Gray Hewson, Dennis Kirkcaldy, Peter Bushnell and Elliot Chang. And from that we now move into a show which you've all got an opportunity to go and see with the club, Midsummer Night's Dream. This show is coming from Russia. And this magical comedy is a dream for dreamers aged 10 to 100. So anyone who's been to Russia? Anyone who is a communist in their youth? And lovers of comedy and comedians. So these are who I've chosen: Denzel Brown, Chris Parkin, William Somerville, Dave Wells, Yusuf Moura and Gerald McGee. Symphony at Lunch. The New Zealand Symphony Orchestra presents 5 fifth symphonies from all of your great composers at 5 lunchtime concerts. So anyone who owns or plays a musical instrument can pay up. And my pick of classical music lovers: John Milford, Martin Matthews, Martin Linhart, John Preble, Eliza Manzella, Ewan Wright, Ulf Akia, Stuart Brooker, Bruce Christensen, Deborah Lee, Stephen Brown, Robert Fisher and Helen Hancock. I've already got him. I've already nailed him. He's a comedian. Between 0 and 1. This is a New Zealand show. It's an extraordinarily new work performed by the country's premier percussion ensemble. So I'm going to get here anyone who's a lover of percussion or of banging things together. And in that category I put Debbie, because I'm Debbie Chin, because I know when she's in the kitchen that's probably what she's doing. John Gibbons, because he's associated with those ukulele people and does all sorts of things. Stephen Matthews, Cars, the Berries, both Heather and Neil, Grant Urich, Brian Steele, Mark Wheeler and Peter Travers. Next show, Doctor Who. So you can join the mayhem in the concert hall when the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra performs captivating music from the hit BBC series Doctor Who. So anyone who was born in or been to the UK, and contemporary music lovers. And my picks out of you are John Nimmo, Lee Wilkinson, Murray Milner, Patrick McCardle, Brian McKeon, Helen Algar, Jenny Button, Peter Cohen, John Cook, Peter Cottier, Nick Griffin and Johnny Johnson. First films. Okay, this is a series looking at the lively first features of well-known directors from the Wellington area. So anyone who was born in Wellington, you ought to be proud of this. Can pay up. And then all the movie lovers. And we'll have to start with Peter McLaren, of course. And I'll add in Peter Cornish, Charles Finney, Peter Lawson, Roger Miller, Wayne Morgan, John Fletcher, Blair Malcolm, Bob Stannard and Bob Mackay. Bach Collegiate. This comes from Japan, and it's a world-class orchestra and choir, and they'll perform 2 major Bach concerts during the festival. So anyone who's been to Japan, and lovers of classical singing. So Richard Norman, Fraser Carson, Denise Church, John Emanuel, Hewitt Humphrey, Nick Hurley, Francis Weavers, Keith Newell, Jennifer Little and John McKinnon. Brel. This is New Zealand as well. So this is a cabaret noir. Comes to the James Cabaret as Kiwi rock stars John Toogood and Julia Deans join singers Jennifer Ward's Leland and Tama Waipara to interpret Jacques Brel's infamous songbook. So lovers of contemporary singing could pay up, and I picked Duncan MacDonald, George Fairburn, Christine Hurley, Jeff Baskin, Russ Ballard, Neil Taylor, Mike Dorg and Joan Smith. Now we're going to start to get the acrobats here. Beyond. This is an Australian show from their theatre group. So the line between human and beast becomes even fuzzier in this quirky show from one of the world's finest contemporary circus companies. So anyone who loves beating Australia at sport can pay. And lovers of circus, for those who are real life jugglers. And in this category, I put those folk who try to be hosts, like Ralph Green, Nigel Gould, Tony is the president, Lisa Carlson, Bevan Jennings, Ian Prisk, and Susan Satchinan, because looking after Anand, she'd have to be a great juggler. Slide 15 here, power plant. This is from the United Kingdom. And so you can step into the enchanting nighttime world of light and sound at the Botanic Gardens as 5 artists transform one of Wellington's most beautiful locations. So all of those of you who are involved in visual arts, design, or building things can pay up. My pick out here are John Boshier, Brian Hassel, Mark Stevens, Hilary Beaton, John Rowe, Rama Ramanathan, and Peter Stoiviken. Last we get to the intellectual people, Writers' Week. So for 6 days, Wellington welcomes authors from home and abroad to share their stories. So all of our writers, and I include upon these Peter Cullen with his frequent columns, Rob Davison, Derek Gill, Anand Satchinan, Tricia Wallbridge, Pat Walsh, Weldon Kirsten Hobson, and Mark Woodard. And I put Mark in there because he has the longest CV on our website, so I figured he must like writing. Thank you.